The attendance was 14,790. The gate was 4.035 million. The performance of the night went to Diego Sanchez and Johnny Walker, and the fight of the night was Garbrandt versus Munoz. Those guys all get 50 grand.
I definitely would have liked to finish the fight. I definitely felt as if I slowed down in the 5th round, which is something that's uncommon for me. But I do feel good. Anthony Smith was the most experienced person I've ever been in there against, with 70 fights under his belt. And he showed that experience. He was extremely durable. He was extremely calm. I put him in a lot of positions where I felt most people would have freaked out. And he kept his composure. He did a really great job.
Just really disappointed. I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. I did exactly what I told everyone I wasn't going to do. I let John Jones sit back and beat John Jones. You know, I don't know. I guess sometimes you just go in there. It's not your night, I guess, but that's just not good enough for me.
I've said it. You know, when I came in, I said this is what I was going to do. I said I was coming for that welterweight strap, and there was nothing that was going to stop me from attaining that and achieving that. For a long, long time, I've been on one leg. I've been fighting fights on one leg. When I fought in the Ultimate Fighter finale, I had microfracture surgery, and that's usually an 8-month recovery turnaround. I had to fight 3 months after that, and I fought 3 months after that. And I had to train through that, with that. I've been on one leg the whole time. And coming into this fight, I was in a boot all week. I fractured my left foot, and I was in a boot. I was walking around in a boot. But nothing was going to deter me from achieving what I've been, you know, what I've set out to achieve. You know, I always envisioned that and knew, hearing them saying and Dana wrapping that belt around me, and just knowing all the things that I was fighting for, not just for me and my family, and not just for the continent of Africa, but for everyone all across the world that come from humble beginnings, that don't know when their next meal is going to come from, don't know if they're going to get clean water the next day. I was doing this for everyone. I was doing this to motivate, to inspire them that, you know, just because they're in the current situation, that's not always going to determine where their life is going to be later on. So, you know, this was for everybody.
You know, I beat a lot of ass in my day, you know, and I've also been knocked down and had to bounce back. So I can give you a million excuses on earth, but I can tell you right now that I was prepared, I was ready. Even in the warm-up, I felt extremely sharp. And sometimes you just have those fights when you go out there and it's like a badass dream. You want to punch hard, but you don't punch. You want to move forward, but you're stepping back. So I had too many moments in there, and Kamaru, he came out there and he won. So I still believe I'm the greatest welterweight of all time. So now my path is getting back and getting a belt. Sometimes everyone thinks that, you know, proving that means you go on a streak and you don't lose and you're undefeated. But sometimes the greatest champions have to face adversity and bounce back and win. So I'm looking to try to run that fight back.
I feel great. I went and did my job. And, you know, I watched the video. I saw the arm go limp. I know he said he was trying to relax himself. But I don't know any conscious person who just goes, I mean, right, this doesn't happen. So, but that's not my job. And to what Mr. Bennett said, they tell you in the pre-fight room, if I'm saying protect yourself, protect yourself, protect yourself, you have to give me something. And, you know, he said he couldn't hear me, but there's definitely nothing, you know, my arm's here, so there's definitely nothing over that one ear.
I mean, it happens in there. Sometimes there's mistakes being made. Herb checked on me, and when he checked on me, I gave him the thumbs up, and he came in there. I couldn't hear him talking because of how the choke was on. My head was on his body on this side, and his arm was over here, so I couldn't hear him talking. And I'm not going to just dangle a hand there, so I just put it down, and then when he checked, I gave him the thumbs up and looked right at him. I was like, hey, man, I'm good. I mean, it happens. I mean, he's a hell of a ref. He just made a mistake.
It was great. That was exactly the fight that I was, you know, visualized, that fight I was thinking. I have a 10 weeks training camp for this fight. You know, some of my coaches, an American top team, he was, you know, watching a lot of his fights because I don't like to watch my opponents fight. I like to go there and do my thing. So that's kind of like my coach's job to do, go watch all the fight previews and see what we're going to do to get the victory. They know, like, I kind of like to brawl, but also they were like, you know, make sure I was being smart, especially the beginning of the fight, hurting him with the kicks, starting like, because we know that he's very emotional, he's starting like to get kicks and punch, things like that, and then he goes to kill. And that was the moment that we were working to get in on that counter punch and then knock him out.